Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I accidentally dropped my phone and the microphone doesn't work anymore, but since I still wanted to make a video to discuss Season 5 of The Walking Dead, I'm using a text-to-speech program. At the end of the previous season, the group was captured by the Terminus group, and this season picks up right where we left off. The men are lined up and getting ready to be killed. We see some random in the lineup die first, but just as they get to Glenn. Explosions. Carol has left baby Judith with Tyrese, and now she's wrecking the place to save the gang. Side note, look how comfortable the baby is with Tyrese. So random, but so cute. I think the show definitely noticed and decided to keep this in the final cut. Most of the cast look the same as the previous season, including the baby. Carol has looked the same since season 1. Instead of asking these 18 to 24-year-old beauty influencers what's their routine, we should be asking Carol. Although, let's be real, she's probably going to say Walker blood or something. The only person that looks older is Rick, but why is he kind of? Put a finger down if you expected Terminus to be destroyed in the first episode. I certainly didn't. I thought this was going to be Season 5's big bad guy. Almost every character last season read the board and said the catchphrase, "Those who arrive, survive," but they ended that storyline so fast. By episode 2, the gang is back together and they come across this cowardly pastor. More on him later. Bob gets bitten by a walker and he doesn't tell the group. It's so weird how some people get bitten and turn fast and others take entire episodes of the show. Same with walkers. Some impale themselves slowly by walking into dull spikes, and some have to be hacked and hacked at until everything, including the camera, is splashed with blood. Anyways, Bob gets captured by the remainder of the Terminus group and they cut off his leg and start eating it. The characters this season keep saying our group has been out here too long. In this case though, I disagree, because this is the first time we've seen cannibals in the show and the horror music and slow reveal is perfect. There's not a lot of opportunity for funny moments in the show, but when Bob told them he was bitten, I cackled with him. This brings us to one of my least favorite storylines of the season. Maybe it's because I'm watching the show so many years after everyone else that I'm not invested in these side characters' romance tragedies. It's like they saw the positive reception everyone had to Rick going crazy after Lori died and tried the same thing with Tyrese and Karen in season 4, and now we have Sasha losing it because of Bob. They can't expect us to go along with the emotions of a couple that's been together for half a season, especially not a 2-episode romance like Tyrese and Karen. My core group is everyone from seasons 1 and 2, but substitute Beth for my Sean. Actually, I may have been too harsh on Beth. They actually give her a storyline this season and introduce Noah, aka, everybody hates Chris. After she was kidnapped last season, she was taken to this hospital and becomes a nurse. There's not a single point, right from the beginning, when this place doesn't scream sketch. The place is run by Officer Dawn, who is fully in survival of the fittest mode. She believes in law and order, but she also believes as long as she gives her officers the run of the place and turns a blind eye when they assault women, they'll have her back when the time comes. At first she doesn't like Beth because she sees the scars on her wrist from season 2. But even when she comes around and helps Beth, I still don't like her and her slick back hair. I mean, really, there's an apocalypse going on and she somehow still gels her hair? Carol gets a lot of screen time this season. First with Terminus and now this plot with Daryl to help rescue Beth. She gets run over and kidnapped by the hospital group though, so Daryl and Noah go back to get Rick and the others to help them. So only Carl, my Sean, and Judith are left behind with Father Gabriel, who's quite possibly the most annoying character in the show. Definitely the most annoying in this season. Glenn and Maggie are with the group heading to Washington, but then Eugene, Mr. I know the secret to end the walkers, confesses that he doesn't actually know, and he's not even a scientist. So they head back to the church and my Sean tells Maggie her sister is still alive. After that, they leave the church and go to find Rick. So on the same day she gets her hopes up about seeing Beth again, she sees her dead body being carried by Daryl. I found it a bit pointless. Almost like Sophia 2.0, if they bothered to give Sophia more screen time. I did get emotional seeing everyone's reactions to her death, but I wasn't emotional that she died, if you know what I mean. We get back-to-back deaths in this season, with the next episode being possibly my favorite. The show does self-contained stories really well, and I feel like in this episode, we had a great send-off for one of the group's strongest fighters, Tyrese. They were taking Noah back to his family, hopeful that this could be a safe community for them to stay, but there's no one left there. So Noah is emotional and runs to his family home, and Tyrese follows. Everyone acts like Noah is a kid, but every time I see him on screen I keep thinking Chris is all grown up now. What did you think of his limp though? Believable or no? So it's at Noah's house that Tyrese gets bitten, and while Noah goes off to get Rick, Tyrese starts hallucinating about Mika, Lizzie, Beth, Bob, and for some reason, the governor. Why couldn't Tyrese have hallucinated Karen though? Also, how does the bite work? Is it like poison or venom or something else? With those, the more you move around, the more the toxins spread in your bloodstream. But remember how much Bob was moving, yet it took forever for him to die. They do amputate Tyrese's arm, but he dies anyway. So then they decide to go to Washington, thinking maybe they'll find safety there. In fact, the group they join is so safe, they don't even know how weak and defenseless they truly are. I like the interviews from this episode though. Some of the group genuinely want to be there, like Sean and Glenn. Daryl can hardly sit still, he's so preoccupied with making sure everything is safe. Carl tells the lady how he killed his mother, possibly so that they don't underestimate him. Carol has the opposite approach. She pretends to be an innocent old lady that acts as the group's mother and doesn't know how to properly shoot a gun. But the most attention is spent on Rick's interview. He tries to warn her that as much as the walkers are a threat, other humans are as well, and they need to make the place more secure to protect their people. I think our group is just not meant for society, maybe until all the walkers are gone. Will there ever be a time when that happens, or will the rest of the world just have to catch up to them? Sean hangs up her sword, Carl has friends his own age, Noah is learning architecture, and even Daryl is making an effort to fit in. But as mentioned, our group cannot adjust. Maybe they have been out there too long, or maybe this group is too sheltered from the outside world. But look how many groups our group has gone through. The camping group from Season 1, the farm from Season 2, the governor's town from Season 3, the prison group and biker group from Season 4, and now in Season 5 they destroyed Terminus, killed the leader from the hospital group, and now they're changing this group's dynamics as well. Carol's interactions with kids are always fun. Last season, she told Lizzie she needs to admit to herself she's weak because she wasn't able to kill a walker. This season she tells Sam she's going to leave him outside the gates if he tells his mother she stole the guns. So he tells her that his mother, Jessie, is being abused by her husband, and Carol tells Rick he needs to kill that man. She's almost manipulative in how she uses Rick while staying in the shadows. Jessie cut Rick's hair when he first arrived, and it looks like there's a new romance entering the plot. At first I thought, too soon. Anyways, you know who could really use a haircut? This is unrelated to the plot, but Rick shaves and is back to being squeaky clean. Glenn, on the other hand, is growing out his facial hair. Does anyone else feel like they downgraded Glenn's role too much from Season 1? Back to the show though. So Rick likes Jessie, and even before he knew the husband was abusive, he almost shoots him. After Carol tells him about the abuse, he gets into this fight with him in the middle of the street and pulls out a gun on everyone. The group is so shocked. Humans killing humans? Unbelievable. When they stop the fight, Rick's face is covered in blood and he looks like the Joker. He probably sounds crazy to these nice, civilized people who look the other way when someone is abusing their wife. Let's be real though, in Season 1 all the men turned a blind eye to Ed abusing Carol. The ladies confronted him, but back then, none of them were fighters. Current group though? I feel like all the ladies wouldn't allow it. Maggie even pulled a gun on Anthony when he stood up too aggressively towards his girlfriend. So the community is preparing a special meeting to discuss what should happen to Rick. Our group is getting ready as well, because if they decide Rick needs to be exiled, they are willing to take over the group by force. So finally, let's talk about the most annoying character this season. Father Gabriel. When the group met him, he was hiding on a rock yelling for help from the walkers and threw up after they killed them. When the walker outbreak first began, he locked the church doors and prevented people from entering, leaving them all to die. At one point, after Michonne and Carl secured the church, Father Gabriel snuck out of there and accidentally led the walkers right back to them. Now, he tells Deanna that our group is evil and here to destroy this community. He goes into the woods and tries to die, but then changes his mind and kills his first walkers. Afterwards, in a daze, he doesn't fully close the gates and the walkers get in. I hate that after everything, not only is he alive, but praying with Maggie and Sasha. One thing I do like though is that this season got to explore religion a bit more. There's still a lot they can tap into though. Currently they're just scratching the surface. So at the meeting, everyone in our group starts praising Rick and talking about how he saved them and kept the group together. Carol is doing her best old lady impression and talking about how scary everything is, but at least Rick is there to protect them. And maybe he had a point. Then Rick shows up, covered in blood again, with a dead walker he found within their walls to show them they'll never be safe. He offers to teach them how to fight as well. The abusive husband shows up and wants to kill Rick, but accidentally kills Deanna's husband instead. So even though she was previously all, humans don't kill humans, she just tells Rick to do it. And without hesitation, Rick kills the guy. Bear in mind, this played out exactly as Carol planned. When the abuser showed up, Rick started reaching for his gun immediately, but Carol stopped him and said, "Not yet." She wanted the group to understand and open their eyes. Carol can be so scary sometimes. She's way smarter than the rest of them. And immediately after that, Morgan shows up. So who knows what season 6 will entail. It was a solid season overall with a lot of callbacks to season 1. The shots they chose, the walker's hands reaching through locked doors, the abusive husband, and even Rick almost shooting him before he had a reason to was very reminiscent of Shane almost shooting Rick from behind. Even Rick's physical appearance and uniform is giving season 1 vibes. I like the direction they're going with his character. Actually, both his character and Carol's. It's a gradual progression that's in line with the escalating threats and it feels earned. I have no idea what's next for the show, but since the writers are adapting existing media, aka, the comic books, I have faith they do have an endgame in mind, even if I can't see the vision yet. I think that's where I'll leave this video for now. Comment and let me know your thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 5. I'm trying to improve my videos as well, so if you have any suggestions, you can let me know as well. Thanks for watching. And bye.